Last week was the culmination of all 4 league basketball tournaments, which is the focus of this week's edition of Top Plays as we look back on the top performances from the EPC and Colonial League boys and girls basketball tournaments. Let's start in the East Penn Conference, where Northampton senior Devin Demchak picked the right time to pour in a season-high 12 points, doing so in the semifinals as the K-Kids upended Parkland for their 20th win of the season. Demchak scored in every quarter and also pulled down 7 rebounds as Northampton returned to the EPC final for the first time in 3 years. K-Kids would face Bethlehem Catholic in the championship after the 5th-seeded Golden Hawks handed number 1 Easton its first loss of the season. Becca outlasting the previously unbeaten Red Rovers thanks to a game-high 16 points from senior Kiki Walters, which included a clutch fourth-quarter 3 as part of the 45-40 triumph. Golden Hawks back in the title tilt for the 5th straight season, and Becca would claim its 5th straight East Penn Conference title behind a courageous effort from senior Stephanie Donato, who had missed the previous 8 games with a concussion but returned just in time to drop 11 points in the championship, all coming in the second half, as the Hawks held on for a 37-32 victory. Donato was named tournament MVP as Becca earned its 6th league crown in the last 7 tries. Now over on the boys' side of things, it was a 3-point frenzy in the semifinals for Nazareth sophomore Mason Keener, who scored the Blue Eagles' first 14 points in their Final Four showdown with Pocono Mountain West. Keener, who had converted just 3 threes in 21 games coming in, sunk 4 in the opening 4.5 minutes, all part of a 16-point effort that pushed Nazareth into the EPC championship for the first time in program history. Parkland, meanwhile, back in the title tilt for the first time since 2016. The Trojans pushed into the finale thanks to a monster effort in the semis by senior Will Meeker, who accounted for exactly half of Parkland's 52 total points in the Trojans' win over Central Catholic. Meeker's dynamic night included 9 points in the opening quarter before another 15 in the second half to help Parkland pull away. Meeker then with 14 more in the championship, but it was sophomore Nick Koval who led the way with a team-high 18 points as Parkland earned its first East Penn Conference title in 6 years. The EPC first-team All-Star scored in every quarter and sunk a put-away 3 in the final frame, clinching the Trojans' 56-46 triumph. With 41 total points across the tournament, Koval was given MVP honors as Parkland claimed its 3rd league crown in the last 7 seasons. Now, meanwhile, in the boys' tournament over in the Colonial League, Wilson senior Nashawn Jones was a one-man wrecking crew for the Warriors. The 6'3" forward dropped the game-high 23 points in the semis as 3rd-seeded Wilson overwhelmed number 2 Notre Dame Green Pond, the Warriors securing the 3rd meeting in just a 12-day span between the East Division rivals. Wilson then able to claim its first Colonial League crown in 13 years Friday night, thanks to a 13-point effort from Jones. One of 3 Warriors to finish in double figures, the seniors' night was highlighted by this breakaway one-handed slam in the 3rd quarter, an exclamation point on the Warriors' 56-50 win over top-seeded Southern Lehigh. Wilson with its 3rd Boys Basketball League championship overall and the program's first since 2009. Now finally, on the girls' front in the Colonial League, Northwestern Lehigh found its way to the top of the mountain again. In the semifinals, uber-talented freshman Kara Thomas produced 16 points, including 7 alone in the 2nd quarter when the 3rd-seeded Tigers were able to pull away from number 2 Bangor. Northwestern with its 15th win over the last 16 games, setting up a date in Friday's championship with top-seeded Palmerton. That, a rematch of last year's title tilt, a game the Tigers won easily thanks to a 25-4 scoring edge in the second half. This year's finale, though, was considerably closer, requiring 18 points from junior and Colonial League first-team All-Star Paige Severin to get the job done, including a go-ahead layup in the final minute of play to secure the 40-38 win for the Tigers and Northwestern's 2nd straight league championship. Chris Deutsch's group has now won 16 of 17 overall since the start of the new year and enters the District 4A tournament as the number 2 overall seed.